How about this for a stat? One third of the world's population struggles with sleep issues, and the economic cost of poor sleep in just 5 countries is nearly $680 billion a year.
That's staggering. And it's just one of the stories we're diving into today.
Welcome to DeActa Daily Digest. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Juniper. Here are today's top stories.
Let's start with the NBA Finals. The Knicks are leading 2-0 against the Spurs, and Game 3 is heading to Madison Square Garden. It's shaping up to be a pivotal moment, not just for the series, but for New York sports history.
Right? And the energy at MSG is going to be off the charts. The Knicks haven't been in this position since 1999, and now they're chasing their first championship since 1973. That's a lot of history riding on this.
What's fascinating is how the Knicks have managed to dominate so far. Game 2 was a nail-biter, but they pulled through despite foul trouble and inconsistent officiating. Jalen Brunson's late-game heroics really sealed the deal.
Meanwhile, the Spurs are showing their youth and inexperience. They've had a grueling playoff run, 5 games against Portland, 6 against Minnesota, and 7 against Oklahoma City. You can see the wear and tear in their decision-making, especially in those critical moments.
Exactly. That final possession in Game 2 was a perfect example. Victor Wembanyama, who's been phenomenal all season, settled for a contested 20-foot jumper instead of running a set play. It's the kind of mental lapse that comes with fatigue and pressure.
And now they're heading into one of the most intimidating environments in sports. Madison Square Garden during the playoffs is no joke. The crowd, the noise, the history, it's a lot to handle, especially for a young team like San Antonio.
Plus, let's not forget the added layer of drama with former President Donald Trump attending Game 3. His presence is already creating a media frenzy and heightened security measures at the Garden.
That's right. The Knicks have implemented a strict no-bag rule and airport-style screening for fans. Trump is attending as a guest of Knicks owner Jim Dolan, and New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani will also be there, though he's sitting in a different section. It's a convergence of sports, politics, and spectacle.
It's fascinating how events like this become cultural flashpoints. On one hand, you've got the Knicks trying to end a 50-year championship drought. On the other, you've got this mix of celebrity, politics, and heightened security. It's like a snapshot of where we are as a society.
Absolutely. Sports have always been about more than just the game. They're stages where larger narratives play out, whether it's about resilience, community, or even political dynamics. And speaking of larger narratives, let's shift to our next story, the One Sleep Health Framework.
This is such an intriguing concept. Researchers are arguing that sleep should be treated as a global health priority, not just a personal issue. They're linking sleep health to environmental conditions, social changes, and even animal well-being. It's a bold, interdisciplinary approach.
What's really striking is how they frame poor sleep as a silent epidemic. They point to factors like rising nighttime temperatures, light pollution, and constant digital accessibility as major disruptors. It's not just about bad habits, it's about systemic issues.
And the numbers are staggering. They estimate that global sleep duration could shrink by 50 to 58 hours per person per year by the end of the century due to rising nighttime temperatures alone. That's like losing an entire week of sleep every year.
The health implications are just as alarming. Poor sleep is linked to higher risks of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and more. And then there's the economic cost, $680 billion annually in just 5 high-income countries. It's a massive issue that's often overlooked.
What I find fascinating is their concept of sleep capital. They're essentially saying that sufficient restorative sleep has collective benefits for health, productivity, and even social cohesion. It's not just about individual well-being, it's about societal gains.
And their policy recommendations are so comprehensive. They're calling for everything from enhanced sleep education in schools to urban planning that reduces light and noise pollution. It's a complete rethinking of how we approach sleep as a society.
It's a bold vision, but it feels necessary. Sleep is such a fundamental part of our lives, yet it's often treated as an afterthought. Framing it as a global priority could really change the game.
Definitely. So, whether it's the Knicks chasing a championship, Trump shaking up the Garden, or researchers urging us to rethink sleep, today's stories remind us that everything is interconnected. Sports, politics, health, they all reflect the bigger picture.
Well said. And on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. Any final thoughts?
Just that it's fascinating how these seemingly unrelated topics all tie back to larger themes of resilience, adaptation, and the need for systemic change. Whether it's on the court or in our bedrooms, the details matter.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for the chat and thanks to everyone listening. Until next time, take care and maybe get some extra sleep tonight.